Okay, so we're going to make a chess piece using some of our higher level skills. And we're going to kind of go through this quickly because it's a little extensive. So we're going to sketch. We're going to tell it where to sketch on here. Select the sketch plane. Click right here. Got our circle. We're going to show you how to make a sphere. All I do is choose a circle, click, drag, click. We've done this before, but it's a little bit tricky. Wow, I didn't do anything. I didn't click out of this stuff. I left it like that. I'm going to go get my line tool, and I'm going to click on one side, right through the middle to the other side. Split the circle in half, and now I'm going to hit escape to get rid of that line tool. Go up to my trim tool, and it knows that by splitting it, I wanted two separate half circles. So I'm going to click on the bottom. Now I have half of a circle, a semicircle. And in order to make this into a sphere for the top of my chess piece, I'm going to go to my Revolve tool. Notice this red part over here is asking me for a Revolve Axis. And an axis is like a line you could spin something around. So I'm going to click on the red thing, and now I'm going to go tell it which axis I want to spin around. The only one that I really have available is that line right there. So I'm going to click, and there's my sphere. So that's the top of my pawn, which is what I'm making here. Now we're going to do something else. I'm going to right click, choose isometric. I'm going to remind you about the offset plane. I'm going to notice I highlighted front by putting my cursor over top. I'm going to right click and choose offset plane. It's got it. This window popped up. The offset distance is 1 inch. Notice that we now have the front plane and then this plane 1. We can sort of see there. It's 1 inch away. I could change that just to show you what the plane is. If I said 2, pushes it further away. If I said 0.5, a half an inch, puts it pretty close. Let's go back to 1 inch. And we need the offset planes for this next piece, or this next tool, which is, I'm going to look back at the front. Let's look at it a little bit on the side to make sure we have the right thing. We're going to use the Loft tool, but in order to do that, we need to make a couple sketches. So I'm going to say sketch 1 on, notice plane 1 is chosen. So I'll click on plane 1, and I'm going to make a rectangle over here. Let's look at it directly again. There's one rectangle on plane 1. Let's look at it on the side again, and let's spin all the way around so that we now select. I think I have to accept that. I'm going to go ahead and accept that first sketch, and now make another sketch on this guy, which is my front plane right there. You can see that I have front plane selected. So I'm going to click on that, and let's look at this from the back. I'm going to put this right over top of that, but remember that's actually a head on the other plane. At least I hope it is. Alright, let's do this. Make a corner rectangle, make this one bigger. And check mark that. Now we're going to choose our Loft tool right here. Once you have the two sketches on the two different planes, it's pretty easy. I'm going to click on my Loft tool, and it just wants me to tell what two things I'm connecting. So I'm going to click on this guy, and click on that guy, and it makes it. So that could be the base of my pawn. If you connect these things, you can make them into a pawn. So we're 4 minutes. I'll do that quickly. I'm going to go to Assembly. And once I'm in Assembly, by the way, that was down here next to Part Studio. If I go back to Part Studio, I can see my stuff. I'm going to Assembly, and I go to Insert. and I can pick this part 1, drag it out. Sometimes it takes a little while. Let's try part 2 and see what it does with that. I decided to double click for some reason, not sure why. There's my head. There's my base. And then we can, I'm going to check mark that, say okay. Now we're going to use this fasten mate up here. When I do that, I can tell, you'll see this sort of target thing looking. I can attach any part I wanted. So let's say I did this, and I click there, and then, oh, see, there's my target up there. Oh, it puts it like that. It put this place right there on there. Well, that's not what this one should look like. So let's undo that, and instead let's say that might be the target for that. See, we're on the edge now, not in the middle, right there. And that's not what we wanted either. This thing flips, and there it is. There's my chest piece.